Hi everyone. Welcome to English Lab. Today I will tell you a true story about J.K. Rowling, the writer of Harry Potter. Before the world knew her name, she was just Joanne, a normal person with a quiet dream. In 1990, during a train trip, a clear idea came to her. A boy who did not know he was special, a strange letter, and a school full of magic. She did not have a pen, so she kept the whole scene in her mind, afraid it might disappear. After the train ride, the idea stayed with her. She began to take notes, then to write pages, and then to build a full story. But life was not calm. Joanne went through painful changes, and later she was raising her baby daughter as a single mother. She has spoken about a period when money was very tight, and she relied on benefits to survive. Some days were cold and stressful. She worried about rent, food, and the future. Still, the story stayed with her. She wrote in small moments, whenever she could, even when she felt tired. She wrote at kitchen tables, on buses, and in quiet cafes while her daughter slept nearby. She did not wait for perfect conditions, because perfect conditions never came. Page by page, the world grew. Characters became real. The plot became clear. She rewrote chapters, fixed mistakes, and kept going. At last, after many hard weeks and many late nights, she finished the first manuscript. She looked at the pages and felt both hope and fear. Hope, because she had built something from nothing. Fear, because she did not know if anyone would care. Yet she decided to try. She told herself, one simple sentence, I will send it anyway, and I will not quit after the first no. She printed the pages, organized them carefully, and read them again and again. Sometimes she felt proud. Sometimes she felt embarrassed. She worried that her writing was not good enough, or that the story was too unusual. She also worried about her English, her grammar, and whether she sounded professional. But she kept reminding herself that the only way forward was to act. On a quiet morning, she wrote a short cover letter and placed the manuscript in an envelope. Her hands were shaking a little as she walked to the post office. She knew that sending the book would not solve her problems. It would not pay bills that day. It would not remove her stress. But it would give her something important, a chance. She dropped the envelope into the mail slot and stood still for a moment. Then she walked home, feeling scared, but also feeling lighter. The story was no longer only in her mind. It was now on its way to the world. That day did not look like a miracle. It looked ordinary, but ordinary choices can change a life. She went back to her small room, made tea, and opened her notebook. She wrote one more line for herself. Keep writing, even if nobody believes yet. And she kept going. She did not know that this story would travel far beyond her city. But she knew one thing. Stopping would guarantee failure. So she refused to stop. The answers did not come quickly. At first, there was only silence. Days passed, then weeks. Finally, a letter arrived. It was short, polite, and painful. No. Joanne felt her stomach drop, but she tried again. She sent the manuscript to another publisher. Then another. And again, the same result. No. Rejection is not loud. It is quiet. It is an envelope on a table, a few words on paper, and a long, heavy feeling in the chest. Some publishers said the story was too long. Others said it was too strange. Others simply said it was not right for them. Each time, Joanne had a choice: stop or continue. She was already tired from real life, so stopping felt tempting. Her mind whispered, maybe you are not good enough. Maybe this is a childish dream. Maybe you should focus only on survival. But she kept going. She did not send the same package without thinking. She improved it. She rewrote parts. She checked the first chapters again. She asked herself, is the beginning strong? Is the voice clear? Does the story move? Then she sent it again. At times she felt embarrassed, especially when she imagined strangers reading her work and saying no. Yet she also felt stubborn, not angry at people, but loyal to the story. She had already carried it through years of stress. She did not want to drop it at the last step. Months turned into more than a year of trying. The rejections piled up. But something also grew: her ability to handle disappointment. She learned to read a no without breaking. She learned to take a breath, drink tea, and return to the next envelope. And she learned that persistence is a skill, not a personality. You build it by practicing it. Eventually, someone finally saw potential. A literary agent agreed to represent her and helped send the manuscript to more publishers. This did not end the fear, but it created hope. With an agent, the manuscript reached new desks and new editors. One day, Bloomsbury in the United Kingdom asked to see the full manuscript. Joanne waited again, trying not to imagine the worst. When the answer came, it was different. It was not another rejection. Bloomsbury decided to publish the book. It was a small start, but it was real. Joanne did not celebrate with fireworks. She sat quietly and let the news sink in. For the first time in a long time, the future felt open. Not easy, not perfect, but open. She still had worries, still had bills, still had hard days. But now she had proof that her work could reach people. She had carried the story through rejection after rejection. And now she had earned a yes. She later said that success did not arrive as a sudden gift. It arrived after many quiet attempts. If you are building something, remember this feeling. The path often looks like delay, doubt, and repeated effort. But every time you try again, you are training your future. And sometimes, one yes is waiting behind many no's. That is why she kept sending it out. Not because she was fearless, but because she continued again. The book was published in 1997. It was called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. At first, it was simply a book in a shop. There were no giant posters and no worldwide celebration. But readers began to notice it. Children read it and wanted more. Parents read it aloud at night. Teachers recommended it. Words spread quietly, the way real excitement spreads, from person to person. Rowling also made a practical choice about her author name. The publisher suggested using initials. So Joanne became J.K. Rowling. It was a small detail, but it helped the book reach more readers at the time. Then the story grew. More copies were printed. More countries asked for translations. The next books were approved. Rowling kept writing, not as a hobby anymore, but as real work. She built the series book by book. With each new release, the world of Harry Potter became larger, and the audience became wider. Eventually, the story turned into one of the most famous book series in modern history. But the most important part is what happened before fame. The magic world did not begin in comfort. It began in an ordinary life, in difficult years, with a person who kept going when the result was uncertain. That is what makes the story real. Even after publication, Rowling still faced pressure and criticism, but she had already learned persistence. She had proof that she could finish what she started, even when life was loud. When people see the final success, they often imagine a straight line. In reality, it was a long climb. She did not wake up one morning and suddenly become safe forever. She still had to plan, to work, to edit, and to meet deadlines. She also had to protect her time, because the world now wanted more of her story. She learned that success brings new problems, but it also brings new choices. One of the strongest moments in her journey is simple. She stayed consistent. She wrote the next chapter even when she was tired. She showed up on days when inspiration was low. She accepted feedback from editors and improved the text. She allowed the story to grow, but she did not abandon the heart of it. A lonely child finding friendship and courage. As the books became popular, new doors opened. The series reached the United States and many other countries. Readers waited in lines at bookstores. Libraries had long lists. People talked about the characters like they were real friends. Later, films were made, and the story reached even more people. But none of that would have happened without the first small publication and the years of work behind it. If you remove the noise of fame, you can still see the simple engine of the story. A writer kept writing, even when life was hard. And that is why her story can inspire you today. It is not only about magic or fame. It is about doing the work while the future is unclear. One page, one day, one attempt at a time. until your life starts to change in quiet ways you can feel. Keep moving, even when it feels slow. Now bring this story back to your own life. You do not need to be a famous writer to learn from J.K. Rowling. The lesson is simple. Your future is built, not given. Rowling did not wait until she felt fearless. She acted while she was afraid. She wrote while her life was messy. She kept trying while people said no. And over time, those small actions changed everything. If you are learning English, you can use the same idea. Do not wait for confidence. Practice creates confidence. Choose one small routine you can do even on bad days. 5 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of speaking, one short story, one page of reading. If you are starting a YouTube channel, do not wait for perfect equipment. Make one script, record one voiceover, upload one video, then repeat. Small steps become skills. Skills become results. Results become a new life. But there is one rule: return quickly. You will miss days. You will feel tired. You will doubt yourself. That is normal. The difference is not that strong people never fall. The difference is that they come back. So make it easy to come back. Keep your goals small enough to fit into real life. Set a time, make a simple checklist, and focus on the next step, not the whole mountain. One more thing: stop measuring your future by your current mood. Moods change. Systems stay. Today you may feel weak. Tomorrow you may feel ready. In both cases, the next small step is the same. At the end of the day, remember this sentence: a difficult chapter is not your whole book. You can write the next page. Start small, stay consistent, and let time work with you. Imagine Joanne at that post office, holding an envelope, unsure of the answer. That moment was not glamorous, but it was brave. You will have your own envelope moments: applying, practicing, uploading, speaking, showing up. Do not wait for a perfect feeling. Choose action that matches your values, not your fear. Here is a simple challenge for this week. Pick one goal and write it in one short line. Then pick the smallest daily action. For example, I will practice English for 10 minutes. Or, I will publish one video every 2 days. Or, I will write one page each day. Keep it honest and realistic. Then track it for 7 days. After 7 days, you may not feel transformed, but you will feel one thing: momentum. And momentum is powerful. It makes the next day easier. It makes your mind quieter. It makes your future more real. If you want, write this in your notes and say it out loud. I can start small. I can try again. I can keep going. Those sentences are not magic. They are instructions for your brain. And when you follow them, you build trust with yourself. That trust is what carries you through hard days. It is what turns dreams into plans. So today, do one small step. Then tomorrow, do one more. Your future will not change because you wished. It will change because you moved. Thank you for listening. If this helped, comment one small step and keep going today. Now,